Towers of Power.
This is one of the most prestigious addresses in the city.
Really the crown jewel within the Las Colinas Urban Center in Irving.
Upgrades are complete inside the towers at Williams Square, and we are checking out what's new. Pickleball in progress.
Pickleball is taking over the world.
And Irving Park is getting a massive makeover, and it will include the city's first courts for a growing sport. Plus the warnings police have about fireworks and the permanent tribute for a former city councilman. Now on City Source. Irving Water Utilities is sharing information about the sources and good quality of our water supply. Hello and welcome to City Source. I'm Thomas Gandy. We'll have that story in just a few minutes, but we begin with major upgrades coming to Keeler Park. Located at Rogers Road and 6th Street in South Irving, it is one of the city's oldest parks. It is about to get an attraction that is part of a growing craze.
It's just a lot of fun.
These players are passionate about pickleball.
This game is a combination of 3 games.
Badminton, table tennis,
and tennis.
So we wanted these players at Cimarron Rec Center to be among the first to know some news. The city of Irving will be building 2 new outdoor pickleball courts, the city's first.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's great. I really love that.
The courts are coming here to Keeler Park in South Irving. The action is a direct response to the growing popularity of the sport.
Originally had a basketball court, but we've got so many offerings for that throughout the city that we felt like this would be a new amenity that might be a really big draw for this park.
The pickleball courts are part of a total upgrade for one of the city's oldest parks. Among the other features,
The trail is going to start over here to our left.
a new quarter-mile concrete walking trail will span the park, and crews will replace the existing lighting with new energy-efficient lights that will cover all of the amenities.
Lighting is key for our parks because people want safety, they want to feel secure, but they also want to use it after hours when it's hot in the summer.
The existing pavilion will remain, and the current playground will be expanded.
We're going to add a swing set here that this park's never had one of those.
Other additions include new exercise equipment similar to this, covered picnic tables along the trail, and more parking.
So we're going to double the size of the parking. Obviously the pickleball court is going to be a draw, so more parking is necessary.
Historically, this has been a neighborhood park, but it's had a small parking lot. Based on the fact that we're adding new amenities, it's going to make it more of a destination park.
It's a more than $1.2 million investment that people are happy to learn about.
Making more courts, it would be very good for the community.
This should be a sport that should be promoted.
Construction at Keeler Park is expected to be complete early next year.
A lot of people are going to come out once the word gets out, and they're really going to enjoy it, I think.
The city of Irving started securing land for the park expansion more than a decade ago. In fact, you can see here that we covered that part of the story here on City Source back in 2010 as crews made way for the bigger park. The city of Irving also invested in improvements at Williams Square. You will recall teams restored the Mustangs and added green space to make the area more inviting. Along with that, private investment is now complete inside the tower, so we got a look at what's new. By the famous Las Colinas Mustangs, there's music to hear outside, but the big draw on this night is what's to see inside.
And it's taken a good 3 years to transform, but we're absolutely proud.
This is such a beautiful space, always has been, but now it's been brought into 2023.
More than $30 million of improvements are complete at Williams Square. At this event hosted by Apollo, Vanderbilt, and Hillwood Urban, guests are getting to check out what's new. Renovated lobbies, the new Mustang Kitchen, the Caterpillar store, the Constellation Club at the top of the Central Tower, and lounges.
Employers, employees, they want to be able to have a touchdown space in the office, but also be able to work in maybe a tenant lounge like Williams Square has provided here.
The Irving Chamber has its offices here, along with a lot of big names in business.
Companies and brands that are best in class, want to be tied to a best in class commercial destination.
We have clients coming in all the time, and so for us, the experience begins with coming in and seeing the Mustangs, seeing the beautiful lobby area that we have, So it does help. And then also for us, we want a great work environment.
Why did your company see this as a valuable investment?
Well, the iconic nature of the asset was always attractive. It's something that everyone knows about. It was surrounded by a great community, the city of Irving. They've been tremendous partners throughout the journey. Developers in the city can work together to really enhance the great quality of office development that we have here in the city.
Starting with the restoration of the iconic Mustangs, the city of Irving completed the renovation of William Square Plaza last year, adding green space to make it more appealing.
One of the most important things that we can do in the city of Irving is keep and maintain all of our office tenants. That's what makes us strong as a city.
I think the city has really stepped up to really help make this happen in the way that can entice more tenants to come here.
Redevelopment of the outdoor space as well as the entire building is just phenomenal. It's exactly what tenants and companies want.
The redesign moved one building staffer to take over the mic.
The tenants, they are just overjoyed in reference to what they've seen and what they've experienced. This building is an experience like no other. Yes.
And so that's why you gave people an experience.
Baby, I gave them one what? Like no other.
Progress delivered at William Square. Also worth noting, the city of Irving operates the Mustangs of Las Colinas Museum and Visitor Center in the East Tower. That updated space reopened last fall. Independence Day will be here before you know it. Applications are available now for groups wanting to participate in the Sparks and Stripes Parade. It will take place at 9 a.m. on Tuesday, July 4th in the Heritage District. And it's followed by a watermelon reception featuring live music in Heritage Park. Those applications to participate in the parade are available at irvingevents.org. They are due by June 19th. And just a quick note about the July 4th evening activities. There will be live music, fireworks, and more fun at Leafy Event Plaza. ICTN's Kathy Whiteman and I will once again be your host for the program that we will stream live on our YouTube channel. Irving police have an important message to share about fireworks.
You can't shoot fireworks off in the city of Irving, period. If you do, you can get a ticket, you can get your fireworks confiscated from you. You can even go to jail for shooting off fireworks, but that's going to be under extreme conditions.
Irving police get a lot of calls about fireworks around the Independence Day holiday. Officer Reeves says that if you have specific information about who is shooting off fireworks and where, call the non-emergency number at 972-273-1010. Another issue police face is celebratory gunfire.
So our main message with gunfire is definitely never shoot off your gun. What goes up must come down. We have seen people get hurt, and in the North Texas area, we have seen people die from random gunfire and those bullets coming down and hitting them.
If you have specific information about the location of gunfire, police say that's a reason to call 911. Again, Officer Reeves says you need to be able to provide detailed info. Their main advice, enjoy a professional, authorized show, such as the one the city will host at Levy Event Plaza on July 4th. A special ceremony during Irving's Memorial Day program honored the late former city councilman John Danish.
Dreams are the seedlings of reality. Vision with action can change the world.
This new stone and tree at Veterans Memorial Park honor the contributions of John Danish. He led the Veterans Memorial Park Committee for more than a decade and was a driving force in getting the park constructed.
It started off small, and John said, no, we don't need it small. We want something that will be, grand scale. And now you see the park before us.
And it was John who brought it through. It was John who carried it forward. It was John who supported it 100% all the time and devoted a lot of his life to making this park and what it honors and what it presents to us a reality.
And I just thank you from the bottom of my heart, this tribute in your honoring him this way, this day, to allow his heart and his soul to live in perpetuity in this beautiful park.
This year's ceremony also included Irving City Councilman Oscar Ward laying a wreath to honor the sacrifice and service of local veterans. Earlier, people gathered inside the Jack D. Huffman Community Building for music from the Silvertones. America, Also, City Councilman Phil Riddle spoke on the staggering total of lives lost in armed conflicts.
There have been 1,354,664 fatalities. Those people have given their lives for freedom, for things they believed in. That's 100,000 people more than live in the city of Dallas today. That's a pretty significant number.
Another attraction this year was the mobile education exhibit from Wreaths Across America. People learned more about that program and how they can get involved. Irving water is safe to drink and meets all standards. That's the top takeaway from the city's new water quality report, which is available now. Water Utilities Assistant Director Steve Pettit is here to tell us more about what we need to know about the supply. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
And people can access this water quality report at cityofirving.org/water-report. Along with that message about the safety of water is information on the cost of water, about a half penny per gallon. What do residents get for their money?
Well, first off, you get fresh water that meets all federal and state standards, and it actually exceeds state and federal standards on a daily basis. And what that cost pays for, that pays for everything associated with transport of the water from East Texas. It pays for treatment. It pays for our billing services. It pays for all the folks that are out running around through town that are maintaining the system. It pays for everything it takes for us to deliver that water to your house. And when you think of less than a penny a gallon for a gallon of water to your house, in terms of what it costs for a gallon of anything, it's just a tremendous value when you look at the cost of a gallon of milk or juice or gasoline. Less than a cent a gallon is a great value to our customers.
You mentioned East Texas. It is always interesting to talk about the long path of Irving water. Where's the main supply coming from?
Yes, 85% of our water comes from Chapman Lake in East Texas near Sulphur Springs. We pump the water 77 miles to Lake Lewisville, and from there the city of Dallas pulls the water out of Lewisville and treats it for us and then transports it to Irving for us to deliver to our residents and businesses on a daily basis.
The report also contains a reminder about the irrigation guidelines. We'll put those on the screen right now. Why are those so important at this time of year?
It's just, as we're going into summer, it extends the supply. As you may see, other utilities go into restrictions just due to lower supplies. By following those irrigation guidelines, it helps us manage our supply better and make sure that we can stretch that resource out to where we don't have to go into further restrictions.
And we should add that there's no watering allowed for any address between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. on any day, because that's when evaporation rates are highest. Along with that reminder, your team is monitoring lake levels every day. What are you seeing?
The lakes are in good shape right now. We've had a lot of recent rains that have put us in a good position going into the summer. But it's just a good reminder to be a good steward of the resource that we have. Even though the lakes are in good shape, we want to use water wisely and extend the supply as it continues to get hotter.
Water Utilities Assistant Director Steve Pettit, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
And again, you can find the report at cityofirving.org/water-report. DFW Airport expects to welcome a record number of summer travelers, and that is just one part of a huge year.
We're on track to welcome over 78 million passengers in our fiscal year, and this summer is going to be booming.
More than 22 million passengers are expected to pass through DFW Airport this summer, which is a 7% increase over the 2019 high. Given the expected crowds, we asked some insiders for their tips.
It is hectic for sure, and this year's going to be crazy too. So pick off-peak times. So pick your Tuesday, Wednesdays to go fly on. You'll get cheaper tickets. You'll get better seats available.
Get to the airport early. Get to the airport very early. Pack light. You see the people with the big suitcases. You don't need them that big.
And I will add my own tip. You can save a lot on parking by booking in advance at dfwairport.com/park. Deals can vary, but I have scored some good prices on the closest terminal parking spots. There is also summer fun to be found close to home. The Animal Connection experience at Fritz Park will be open through July 30th. It features petting farm animals, pony rides, and surprise events on Saturdays. The Animal Connection experience is a U.S. Department of Agriculture licensed operation. Fritz Park is located at 312 East Vilbig Street. Animal Connection is open from 10 until 5, Thursdays through Saturdays, and noon to 5 on Sundays. Irving residents with proof of residency pay $4 for admission. A town hall meeting open to everyone is coming up on Thursday, June 15th. Police, fire, solid waste, as well as Parks and Rec are the departments presenting updates. The meeting will start at 6 p.m. in the Dupree Theater at the Irving Arts Center. Organizers recommend parking on the south side of the building. Planning is underway for the city's next fiscal year, which begins on October 1st. Residents have a chance to weigh in at the next public input session. It is set for June 29th at 7 p.m. at Irving City Hall. Also, you can contact the budget team by email to share opinions or ask questions. The email address is askthebffs@cityofirving.org. In this case, BFF stands for Budget Fiscal Friends. Small business owners have a chance to learn about the grants that are available to them. The City of Irving and Chamber of Commerce are teaming up to host a Lunch and Learn program on Wednesday, June 14th at noon. The program will cover the small business recovery and resiliency programs, as well as minority and women-owned business enterprises. Register in advance at irvingchamber.com, then click on Events. Some volunteers found a good way to give back to the community by planting trees at Irving's Tree Farm. We heard from the volunteers and learned more about the farm.
Giving back to nature. These volunteers from the Dallas Everest Lions Club are planting trees.
This is very noble cause for us, so we are very proud of that.
And they're doing it at Irving's very own tree farm on this land at Mountain Creek Preserve. These new trees will someday replace trees in city parks and medians that are dead or diseased, and those that fall during severe weather.
When that happens, the City of Irving's Park Department come out here and they get a new tree from the tree farm and replant it.
This is going to be my first tree plantation. I have planted little shrubs and flowers and bushes, but planting a big tree is going to be a learning experience for me.
Yeah, the soil and the water.
Keep Irving Beautiful and the city's Parks Department coordinated this volunteer day and provided lessons.
Because it's not just to dig a hole and plant a tree. There is some techniques.
The types of trees planted here at the tree farm match those at city facilities.
If we plant the same species that we lost, we got a better chance that the tree is going to survive and it's going to grow faster because we already know the tree we lost is used to that type of soil. Next year, how many inches grow in diameter?
There is a lot to know about trees, and these volunteers believe all of the education and knowledge is important because trees bring so many benefits.
We all know trees is important for our day-to-day life, from where we get oxygen, we get food.
This project is very important for mental health and of course for the environmental health as well.
You never know who's going to someday sit under one of these trees that you've seen planted or helped planted.
The Dallas Everest Lions Club plans to continue to work with Keep Irving Beautiful on projects that improve the planet, starting here in their own community.
For us to partner with the city and mayor and Keep Irving Beautiful, it's a big win for us.
Some good work they put in, and Keep Irving Beautiful works with groups across the city on a variety of projects. Learn how you can get involved at cityofirving.org/KIB. Highlights from the latest town hall meeting are coming up next time on City Source. Also, even though classes just let out for summer, volunteers are already working to make the next school year start off right for local students. We'll tell you about this year's Supplies for Success Drive. Those stories and much more next time on City Source. Remember, you can always email us your thoughts on our stories. The address is ictn@cityofirving.org. Also, find us on YouTube at youtube.com/thecityofirving. We are always adding new content, so it's a good idea to subscribe. And while you're there, hit that like button on the videos you watch and leave us some positive comments. And you can look for updates on events and initiatives across the major social media platforms at the City of Irving. And that's it for this edition of City Source. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and we'll see you next time.